everyone, and welcome to another episode of Schmidt Lavelle. My name is Tom Lavelle, and as always, I'm accompanied by Mr. Timothy Schmidt.
Dude, dude, look at those guns.
Wow, man, you really are pumping iron lately. You're looking jacked and stronger than ever. I mean, by God, you picked up and slammed a man through a table this past weekend. What a moment! What a time to be alive.
It was, I did do that. That was quite the feat. I hadn't done that in a long time. I used to go through a lot of tables myself. Um, haven't really put anyone through a table before though. That was a lot of fun. It was a good time. The live show obviously happened on Saturday. Our other flagship show, Jabroni Drive. The content more directed towards wrestling and the Royal Rumble, which took place this weekend. But what an awesome turnout from our friends and the supporters of the show, Schmidt Lavelle and Jabroni Drive. Friends just showed up, and we had a nice little crowd there on Saturday night for our first live event, Tom. And I think it went over pretty good.
Yeah, you know what? A ton of positive feedback. Everyone's saying they had a great time. As you mentioned, we had a great turnout. There was a ton of people there. You know, we had our live show that started before the Royal Rumble, a lot of wrestling fans coming to the show. And as people like kind of started coming in more and more, I mean, the whole bar was full and it was fun to watch wrestling with a full bar and people like getting into it and doing the whole thing. And the show was a success. And we want to thank everyone that came out and helped and supported. And shout out to Stat Girl for getting the birthday cake for you. Shout out to um, Kid Kryptonite, the Masked Man. Let's give a shout out to Matt Lavelle, uh, host of Working Perspectives podcast, for helping us with the intro. And one last shout out to Mr. Tony Mont for letting us borrow his amplifier and microphones for the show. Oh, and then, of course, the HJB. Thank you for letting us host our show there. And thanks for not getting upset for us slamming someone through a table without your consent. I hope that insurance is paid up, buddy.
Surprise.
Surprise. Well, what, Timmy, we didn't know we were defending the bar, the
Yeah,
honor of the bar, as far as I'm concerned.
we had to. I mean, we didn't know who that guy was. He came in with a mask on. He interrupted our show and started trashing me and trashing basically the whole setup. And I wasn't having anything, Tom, that day.
Yeah.
I wasn't. I was having none of it.
Yeah. Enough of
So
this, you said, and you walked out there and you took care of business and then drug him out the back and he ran off like a coward. But what a show it was. And I'm looking forward to more live shows in the future. We have some other things coming up that we've been talking about. So we'll let you know where that's going, and hopefully everyone can come out and have a good time like we did with this one. And also, we want to thank you, the listener, like we always do at the beginning of every show. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being involved with Schmidt and Lavelle. And if you're not doing it, now's the time. Go hit that subscribe, go hit that follow, maybe share a video of ours. Tell your friends, tell your family. Schmidt and Lavelle, the hottest growing show in all of shows. And I mentioned to you, Timmy, I'm going to start just calling it the Schmidt and Lavelle Show. We're not just a podcast. Yes, we do have this medium of content that we put out there, but that's not all we are. I mean, we put out funny, goofy videos. We have live shows. We have the podcast. We have different things coming out, and we're the Schmidt and Lavelle Show. So thank you for listening, and thank you for following with us.
we're more of a brand, Tom.
Yeah,
And you know what, Tom? Speaking about brands, there's
right.
one brand that we haven't recognized yet, and that is the Design Guys, Design underscore Guys, GUYZ, who provided us with an excellent gift on Saturday night before the show. Sean, one of the co-owners there, had come up to me, co-founders, and said, "Hey, I got a little gift for you," and gifted us with both Schmidt and Lavelle sweatshirts that you see Tom wearing right now.
Yeah.
So, and awesome hoodies. Just like honestly, it was a really cool gift. Not expected
Amen. Yes,
at
it
all.
was.
We did not request this. This was something they did on their own for us, and much appreciated. And again, we've mentioned the design guys before. They're new to the game, but their stuff is better than most out there. And if you want an opportunity to wear some of the coolest stuff, the coolest logos, a lot of sports related items that they have, their logos are really cool. Check them out at design_guys GUYZ on Instagram. You'll see all their stuff.
Yeah, I couldn't said it better myself, Timmy. I'm wearing the hoodie right now, Schmidt Lavelle, and we might be getting some more hoodies out there. We've been getting some requests, but thank you again. What a cool gift. And that says a lot about that like company as they're getting started, that they would just gift us with these things and like it was a nice gesture, you know what I mean? Showing that they're kind of, your everyday guys, but they got a lot of cool Philly sports gear. That's I think where they're putting out mostly. So go check them out. As Timmy said, that's design_guys. They're on Instagram. You can see their designs, good quality material, nice fit. I can't recommend them enough. I have a bunch of their Eagles shirts, Phillies shirts, Sixers stuff. I got to get me some Flyers gear, but design_guys. Go check them out and thank you for these awesome hoodies. We love them. All right, Timmy, let's get into some of our comments from this past week. A busy week and one of our most viewed shows of all time. So that's exciting stuff. And as I like to say, it's up. Everything's up. We're up, 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 up. So let's get right to it. From Mr. Heastiff, he says, I usually don't go to the gym until 9 p.m. because I have 3 kids. Timmy, the nighttime gym. What do you think about that? That's a tough task. I'm usually, if I go, it has to be in the morning. I got to get it over with and get it done. By the time I get home from work, no, thank you.
Yeah, the graveyard shift gym session is terrible. It is probably one of the harder things to really commit to because I mean you spend your whole day as he stiff mentioned, he's got 3 kids, he's getting them up and getting them to school, and then he's probably going about his day in terms of work, gets home, and then probably has to take care of the 3 kids again, probably some sort of sports or something, some type of activity. And then finally you eat your dinner. And I mean, most people probably would want to just chill out and have a beer after that because that's a full day there, Tom.
Yeah.
Getting yourself motivated enough to get to the gym at 9 p.m., probably after you put your kids to bed, is absolutely insanity.
Especially in these winter months where the sun goes down at like 5 o'clock and
Yeah.
it's cold outside. I mean, man, that is commitment. Kudos to you, He's stiff.
Well,
I
I
love
mean,
the commitment. I mean,
there's no proof that he's actually doing this. I mean, have you seen the guy lately? He's not. He's
oh,
he's.
shots fired.
I mean, the guy is not an Adonis. I mean, look. Yeah, I think he could use a couple early morning sessions.
When I saw him, he seemed pretty fit. You know what I mean? He seemed pretty
Yeah, he fit. He
solid.
fit. Yeah, he fit in his clothes. You
Oh
know.
boy. Oh man. Oh gosh, here we go. All right, let's move on to our next comment. That's from Mr. Jim Barnhart 5874. I absolutely love the snow. When I was a kid, especially more now as an adult, I can make enough money plowing snow to pay my bills in one storm. Then I do the rest of the month. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Yeah,
We're big snow fans, but Timmy, that's quite the biz, the plowing and the snow removal guys can do.
I would say it's probably more lucrative in other places than Philly these days because Philly really hasn't gotten that much snow over the course of the last couple of years. So, um, it's hit or miss. But a lot of these landscapers, Tom, out in the surrounding area, when they're not cutting lawns and weed whacking and doing all that other stuff, they in the wintertime when the grass isn't growing, you know what they do? They got to go out and plow. And snow is the one thing that they plow. They could, as we spoke about on our other show, they could start plowing water since that's in the way of Most
Right.
schools now they get upset about that and they make it a
Ah, they could
2 hour
stop the
delay.
wind maybe too.
Yeah, they could throw
Maybe
sandbags down, something like that.
yeah, maybe something along the lines of an air quality, do
Mm,
something like that. Air purification.
but
All
yeah,
right,
no,
let's get to some more comments. We got Phil DeWilliams _ art, and this was in regards to our live show. He says, "Great stuff. Need more live events." From Harry C627, he says, "The Sandman fit is fire." From Jim O'Donnell 27, "All fun and games till somebody loses an eye. Love that. Definitely do more." From Mia Machini, she says, "Slay, Tommy." Now, slay is a term that means like kill it. You know what I mean,
uh,
Timmy?
what's that slang?
That's
Slang?
slang. That's slang. From that Eagles kid, he says, "Timmy's Jordans, though. Sheesh. Fire, fire, heart." Ironically, three people were wearing those same sets of Jordans, Timmy. And I know we had talked about it, but I even forget now what kind of Jordans. I like Jordans. I've never been like a Jordan guy, but people that are into them, the number Jordan, you got to get this one, you got to get that one. What kind of Jordans were those again?
They were the Jordan 11s, and the Jordan 11s were one of the. Uh, I'm not going to say they put the shoe on the map, but they changed the shoe game. They added like the patent leather to it around the base of the shoe. It's the first time you ever saw that on a basketball shoe, and they like took the world by storm. And they've been like difficult to get ever since they debuted, like years and years and years ago. Um, yeah, they're like right up there with like the Air Max 95s and like there's like I'm not a big shoe guy. One of our listeners, Jay Jaquino, he is a huge sneakerhead and he knows like the ins and outs of like everything. He has a way somehow. He can get you any shoe that you possibly like could think of. So like if you are a sneakerhead, this dude has a way of figuring out how to find that specific shoe. He's like really good. He's like a gum shoe, if you will. Huh? You like
Oh, I
that?
like your play on words there, Timmy.
Also a co-owner of Design Guys.
Right. I was going to mention that. He is also a co-owner of Design Guys. All right. So that's going to get us through our questions, but that's going to bring us to something a little bit more exciting and something we've talked about with the people out there. We love the interaction, we love the comments, but we have a question that's been sent in to us and we're going to respond to that. So before we get to the question, I want to say, hey, if you're out there and you're listening and you have a question or a topic you'd like Schmidt and Lavelle to tackle, send us a DM, send us a text if you have our numbers, leave us a message, tell us a story, whatever it is. We want to know. We will answer your question, your story, we'll tell it, whatever it is. Let us know and we will talk about it. All right. So let's get to the question. This is from S. Madden 10, and he says, "Need a Schmidt and Lavelle, what would you do ruling here? You're at a grown-up holiday party of one of your neighbors. No kids, lots of food, drinks, etc. It's a great time. You are waiting in line for the bathroom, and there are two women waiting behind you. Person exits the bathroom, and you go in, only to realize that there is piss all over the toilet seat. Now, this is the dilemma. If you leave it, the woman or women behind you waiting will just assume it was you that pissed all over the seat and left it. But the alternative is having to clean up someone else's piss off a toilet seat of a house that isn't even yours. What would you do? Do you clean up the piss, however disgusting, to avoid having the women behind you think you're the asshole? Or do you leave it, risking that they will think you are an asshole, but you then avoid having to clean up someone else's piss? Need your help, fellas. Love the show. Keep up the great work. Timmy, do you clean up someone else's piss or do you leave it there for the women to see behind you, thinking that maybe it's yours and you're the asshole?
Now, the simple answer here, Tom, is just to bite the bullet. I mean, if there's a significant line out the like waiting, if there's one bathroom, I mean that's just like crazy, right? Like you're gonna have to wipe that shit up and and just bite the bullet. Like I
Yeah.
don't know, you have kids and you've cleaned their shit before. You probably cleaned up their piss before. Like it sucks, but I mean, at the same time, you don't want to get blamed for pissing on the toilet, and God knows who's standing in line behind you. Could be like the owner's best friend, and like, yeah, it's just, yeah, Schmidt was just in there and he pissed all over your seat, all over the floor, like, and
Or
then
the
you get a
wife of the owner, you never know, right?
yeah, and then you get a bad rep. On the other hand, you could walk into the bathroom, see that there's piss on the seat, and then you could refuse to take a piss in that bathroom. You could just turn around, and obviously the person behind you knows that you've only been in there for 3 seconds, so there's no possible way you could have actually pissed on the seat and said, "Hey, listen, the person before me just pissed all over the seat. I'm not pissing in here. Not take ownership. Go find another bathroom and do your business." But I mean, for the most part, dude, if you really have to piss, you're waiting in the line for a bathroom. More than likely, there's no other bathroom being open right at that point. So you got to get it out. You wipe the toilet off. You take a piss, and then you be done with it.
I'm with you. I mean, I work at Graham's Pub. That's not going to bother me much. I wad up a roll of toilet paper, I wipe it down, lift the seat with my foot, and I piss. That's it. That's what I do. I mean, it's yeah, and I would also say I'm going to stay there, flush the toilet, and wait to see. Sometimes some of these toilets, there's a little kickback, and some water will shoot up out of the toilet
Mm-hmm.
seat, and they'll leave a drop or two on the seat from the water. So I make sure that that didn't happen, so that then I also don't get a bad rap for these toilets that are shooting up water everywhere. You wash your hands and you get out of there. Well, it's not a big deal. What would you do if you're in a public place and something like this happened? You got to clean that up. If you say you got to sit down, you know what
There
I
are.
mean? You have to clean it up. There's nothing else to do. And
I'll
if
tell.
you're like in a public place and you got to do it, sometimes the pickings are slim and you go with the best option. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, like, especially when I have my kid and I got to go and like he was little and he has to sit, you know what I mean? It's like, dude, this is what we're doing here. I'm gonna hold you. You let it go.
Let me ask you a question, Tom. You just mentioned public bathrooms. Are you the guy that uses do you take that little like toilet looking
No, no,
paper and lay it down? Do you
no,
do you unwind the toilet paper and lay it out on the
no,
on the toilet seat?
no. Now let me think. The amount of times, look, I am one of my biggest fears would be having to go number two on an airplane. That's like one of my biggest fears, I think. But
That's why I go Imodium all day before the flight.
right. Yeah, you were telling me about this Imodium. I've never taken Imodium, but we were on a bachelor party in Austin, and we had get rented this Airbnb, and across the street was a taco truck. And so the first day we get there, we're like, oh, tacos, this is great. Let's go grab lunch. And then we go out to the bars, we're drinking, we come back, we're like, dinner, whatever, we'll get tacos again, right? And the next morning we wake up and it's like, what do you guys want? And we're like, well, they sell breakfast tacos across. Literally, I had fucking these tacos like for 4 days straight or whatever, however long we were out there. And I was so worried that, man, these tacos are gonna come back and haunt me on this plane ride home. So, but either way, I was making sure I would go in the airport, which an airport bathroom is out of control. Before flight, you get a busy airport area. I mean, it's just bombs going off in there left and right. You're sitting in that in there like you need a helmet. You know what I mean? You're like, what's happening in this place?
Air
So
traffic control.
yeah.
We're under attack
We're
here.
under attack. Yes, exactly. So it gets pretty crazy in there. But I've done the hovering. I've been a hoverer before, and I'm past the hover. No longer doing it. I do a good wipe down, and you gotta go. I try to make it as quickly as possible, and I get the fuck out of there. So that situation, the pissing is never really an issue to me. If I was at a bar and I walked in and saw that on the toilet seat, I wouldn't bother wiping it if I just had to piss. If I'm in a men's room and there's piss on the seat, I'm leaving it. Like the next guy, if he has to sit down, can deal with it.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah, you're not. Look, there's been times where I've had to really go and I walk into that stall and there's piss all over the seat and I gotta do my thing, dude. I clean that fuck, dude. I get in there, I scrub it. Sometimes I like, I'll s- I'll use my own saliva. I'll spit on the seat and I'll clean it off. I'm like, dude, I have to. It's
How
like
does that help? It's not like your saliva's got fucking Lysol in it.
I don't know, dude. Like if there's like something I see on there
I'm
that
gonna get
just
the
look,
germs from my mouth on this seat, and
yeah.
that'll cancel
What
out anything else that's on here. That makes
I feel
zero
like
sense.
my germs are better than whoever else's germs are on that seat.
You've
God
already
damn it.
got your germs.
um,
I don't see the point of that. I mean, I've
I don't
I've
know.
scrubbed it, and try to get some friction on there because they say friction actually kills majority of the germs, and the soap does the rest. So
Yeah, well, I mean, sometimes you don't have that amount of time, Tom. Sometimes you
right,
just got to make a quick decision, and it's the first thing that came to my mind. I'd rather use soap and wash it down, and
yeah,
you
soap,
just
yeah,
don't have that time.
you
You
don't.
just don't have that time.
Yeah.
Um,
Time. There's never enough time. Oh my gosh. But Timmy, I think we can both say you wipe it down, you piss, you wash your hands, and you get out of there. I mean, it's that simple.
it is that simple. It is, unless you take a shit in the upper part of the toilet.
Have you done that before, Timmy? Have you taken a shit in the what they call an upper decker?
I've visited the upper deck a couple times. I
Oh
didn't.
my God.
I mean, really,
What kind
oh,
of an animal does something like that, Timmy? Do you remember the first time you did it?
it was in college. And look, you do this to like each other's dorm rooms and stuff like that. That's like usually the fun thing. When you take it outside of like college, that's when you start getting into like a risky area. Because like in college, people expect you to do the worst of the worst.
Right.
But like there was a time where I was in the neighborhood here. It was during the college time too, but like it was like probably it was like a Christmas holiday or whatever. And yeah, we were all for an extended vacation. And I was at some girl's house and we were like hammered. It was like after hours, like 2:30 in the morning or something like that. And me and my buddy, he was like, yo, upper decker, upper decker. So I'm sitting on the top of this toilet and like, dude, the door wasn't really locking properly. And my buddy was supposed to be the lookout and he was just hammered. And like two people like barged in and I'm sitting up on the top and I'm like perched like a gargoyle.
Uh,
Like this. And they're
what did
like,
they say? Like
they're,
like the people that lived there?
they're like, yeah, they just like turned around. He's upper decking, like screaming. And I was like, fuck. I had to I had to exit stage. Like I pull up my pants real quick. Like obviously, like I tried to like wipe quickly, but it was just it just didn't have enough time.
Can I get some privacy in here?
Let me finish my upper deck here. Go
Yeah,
on.
what the heck? Wow, how rude of those people, Timmy.
I like just dude, I busted like there was music playing, there's a ton of people there. So like I was able to get out before I was identified. But
Oh, wow.
it
You
was
were able to get away.
quick exit, Tom.
Mm. Well, Timmy, something like that I think you need probably to call a cleaning lady, you know? And that's going to bring us to our next topic. And I'm talking about cleaning ladies, ironically. What a segue, right?
Oh,
So the cleaning lady, the question I have for you is, look, I'm fortunate enough that we're at the house. Of course, I have a full-time job. My wife has a full-time job, two kids, whatever. I don't know if I'm making an excuse or not, but we were able to have someone come and help clean the house. And I'm not saying they clean it like full, but like they do the bathrooms, they do the kitchen, they'll do like the baseboards, the windows, stuff like that. They'll knock those out. And it's stuff that kind of takes away from our weekend time that we get with our kids, whatever. And it's a lot to get. Next thing you know, you fall behind, whatever. But before the cleaning lady comes over, you should see my wife and how she acts and the way she cleans prior to the cleaning lady coming over to the house. What is the protocol for this, Timmy? Like, Does my wife need to do a deep clean before the cleaning person comes over to do a deep clean? Like, God forbid, the person that you're paying to clean your house, is it an embarrassing thing that she has to vacuum? I don't understand.
You're asking the wrong person because I am anti pre cleanup. And like my father, um, again, for those that are first time listeners, I live at my dad's house at the age of 41 or 42. Shit, I'm 42 now. But
Oh boy.
there's a whole story behind that from a different episode. But regardless, he likes to get the cleaning lady. And we got a cleaning lady the other day, and he's like, yeah, I walked in and they were supposed to be here at like 1:30. So I walk in from work and he's sitting there and he's all pissed off. I was like, "What's wrong with you?" And he's like, "The cleaning ladies are here and no one cleaned up." I was like, "What? What do you mean?" He's like, "Yeah, no one ever cleans this shithole. I gotta do it myself." I said, "Dad, aren't the cleaning ladies here to clean up?" He's like, "That's not the point." I'm like, "Dude, I don't understand what you're talking about. If they're here to clean up, let them do their goddamn job." It's and like the other thing I have to ask you, Tom, is do you ever get your car cleaned, Tom?
Yeah,
You took it through the car wash, right?
right.
And they have how many different options for the car wash?
Oh man, they've got like the regular, the deluxe, the whatever, they have like a ton of you get add the tires, do this or that. Yeah, there's a ton of different options. I would say there's like four or five.
So
The
the clean
works.
that's my point is like the cleaning ladies, they don't have there's no options. Like, yeah, give me the number six. They just come over and clean, and it's
They
this.
should tell you what type of, well, there is the deep clean, which I've heard is the deep clean, and then the regular clean.
Okay, so can you tell me what the difference is?
I think the deep clean is
Hold on.
windows, baseboards, stuff like that. Like they're gonna
Okay.
get like, the refrigerator, the oven, and stuff like that.
All right. Well, if that's the case, then it's my mistake. But like when you hire a cleaning lady, hey, can you come over and clean my house? Sure. Sure, I'll come over and clean your house. No problem. Oh, what's your cost? Oh, it's this amount of money. And then you go, okay, please, I'll see you next Friday. And then they show up, they clean the house, and then you decide whether or not it was worth the price. But like I my thing is like I don't understand like tidying up beforehand, right? Like say you're like your wife, right?
Right.
And you're a person like that. You need to clean the house before they get there and you're tidying up and you're doing like when does it end? And then like when they come to your house and they come to clean and the house is spick and span, what the hell are you paying them to do?
Might
The,
as well turn on a show for them. Hey,
yeah.
we have our Netflix, we have Hulu, we have Disney Plus, whatever
Yeah,
you'd like, just sit here, watch it, and when you feel like you've spent enough time, there's the money on the counter.
right. Like what's
Well,
the
you know what? It's kind of, and I just thought of this, maybe a little similar to like if I'm at a restaurant and we're eating food, I will like I'll stack the plates, and I'll stack them in a way that, okay, I want the plates like this and make sure that the silverware is separate because I know you got to separate that stuff. And I kind of like do that whole thing when I'm at
so
a restaurant.
you're bussing the table for the busboy.
Yes, yes, I am trying to
Well,
make
we're
it easier for them.
but were you a former busboy?
I was.
That's why you're doing that.
I know.
You're not a former house cleaner. Like,
Well, I kind of was. My parents, they, like you've mentioned in the past, I never got an allowance. I just had a bunch of chores that I never got paid for.
well, everyone had that chore.
Yeah.
You weren't traveling around like the Von Trapp
No,
family, like
no.
cleaning houses.
Well, you know what? We did at one point. We would go and we would clean out houses in the city. Now, I'm not saying we were cleaning out. It was probably worse, to be honest. It was evicted houses. We would have to go board them up, the windows and the doors, and get rid of all the stuff that was in there, to rip out the carpets, all that crap.
What?
Yeah,
What?
that's what we would do. And we'd be in like these really bad neighborhoods, and my dad would bring our dog. We had a Rottweiler, And so we would like chain the dog up to the front step. My dad would be like fully, you know, weapons everywhere. And
I,
we would go in, we would like trash bag all the houses up and like get all any junk that's in there. I mean, we found like, there's crack pipes and fucking, you know, porn mags and just garbage everywhere. And we'd have to like bag it all up, get it out, put it in the trailer that we had on the back of the truck, board up the windows, board up the doors, and then get the fuck out of there. So we would do like three, if we did like three houses a day, that was good. Some houses were a mess, like a ton of shit to get out of, and it was a nightmare. What a fun Saturday those were. But so, plus my dad had seizures all the time. He legally wasn't allowed to drive, you
did you
know.
guys? So wait, did you guys get picked up at Home Depot by a bunch of contractors on
Yeah, my dad
Saturday?
would just drop us off at Home Depot and say, you know.
I'm gonna have a fun Saturday.
Yeah, right, right.
Do
So,
you do you speak Spanish fluently right now?
sí. Hola, gracias por el amar, Schmidt and Lavelle. All right, let's move on to our next topic. And our next topic, Valentine's Day is coming up. And before we get to that, I do want to give a shout out to Ann Judge Aesthetics, Suzanne Ionella. Valentine's Day is coming up. If you haven't gotten a gift yet for your significant other, a great idea would be a gift certificate from Ann Judge Aesthetics, Suzanne Ionella, located right off of Germantown Pike, right before you get to the Ale House and the Wawa on the left. It's hidden a little bit back there. Cool spot. Go check it out. We love them. They treated us great. But let's get to our next topic. And I'm not talking about Valentine's Day, Tim. I'm talking about something called Galentine's Day. Are you familiar with Galentine's Day, Tim? Have you heard of this term, Galentine's Day?
I've yeah, well, my girlfriend had told me that she's going out for Galentine's Day this year. And my sister has also thrown Galentine Day parties, which to me, I thought they were just like for single women that, just are celebrating their independence
Nope.
or
These women need to go out and celebrate each other on a weekly basis. Look at us. We're here doing a thing, whether it's Galentine's Day or a Friendsgiving or a quarterly hangout or a pasta night somewhere, whatever the fuck it is.
dude, yeah, you know what? I'm sorry. Go ahead, go on your rant, finish your rant, and then I just want to because you just brought up a sore spot for me. Friendsgiving. What the hell is Friendsgiving? It's like it's fake Thanksgiving, just like Galentine's Day is.
Yeah.
They're both fake holidays. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
Honestly, Valentine's Day is
It's
a
a
fake.
fake holiday. And
It's a
the audacity of having a fake holiday the day before a fake holiday?
yeah, it's a double fake holiday. Valentine's Day is a Hallmark holiday made just to drive, excuse me, retailers through the roof. They want all this just extra retail dollars to go through the register,
Hallmark, the cards, the chocolates, the flowers. I mean,
the
I guess you got
dinners.
to give the florists some love, they need some love out there, but like, come on.
I mean, dude, I mean, let's and look, I think that women deserve to be treated in a
Pampered.
respectful manner. They need to be
Yes.
pampered. They need to be treated to dinner and to gifts and things of that nature. I mean, on a me and my girlfriend have been going to a dinner on a weekly basis, going out to a nice restaurant, having a good time. Do I need a holiday, a Valentine's Day to say, hey, today is the day that you take your girlfriend to dinner and you pay for everything? I mean, come on. What are we
Yeah.
doing here?
Yeah, like it's almost like and for that does that mean more because it's forced, Like it's obligation to do it. Like it's not being done out of the love of someone's heart. It's like, well, it's Valentine's Day. I have to do this. Let me go get this and this and this, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I don't think the forced idea of it is actually fair to someone to offer that. You know what? Maybe this year I'll just skip Valentine's Day altogether.
And Galentine's Day for that matter.
Yeah. No, I can't. She'll kill me. All right. So, Timmy, you know what my mom likes to do? She likes to get me,
Travel.
yes, she likes to get her Valentine's Day gift. She likes to send a Valentine's Day gift to her children. Her Valentine's Day gift is Girl Scout cookies, Tim. She likes to give Girl Scout cookies to me. So she'll show up and she'll get, here's your Girl Scout cookies. Happy Valentine's Day, Tim. That's going to bring us to our next subject. That's going to be the Girl Scout cookie. What are your thoughts on Girl Scout cookies? You like them? You love them? You need some more? Should they sell them year round?
I am oh, I'm
They
allergic to
make you
girls.
sick.
um I never really I'm like not into Girl Scout cookies. Like, look, I mean, if I see a kid on honestly, I haven't even seen Girl Scout cookies
I'm
like ever.
surrounded by Girl Scout cookies, Tim. My niece sells them. My wife's friend at work, her kid sells them. I got a friend at work, their kid sells them. I walked out to Lowe's the other day and there's a little girl, like four of them with a little thing and their mom's behind them, like, hey, mister, would you like to buy some Girl Scout cookies? No, I would not like to buy some of your Girl Scout cookies, little girl. I get them from my niece. I get them from my wife's friend. I get them from my friend. I got 30 fucking, my mom gives them Girl Scout cookies. I do not need more Girl Scout cookies. Thank you. Good day.
Good day, sir. No, you get nothing. You lose.
By the way, your cookies suck. What do you think about that? They suck. Why don't you spend some time with your mom and bake some fucking cookies? If you had some homemade cookies here, yes, I would probably buy the whole batch. But no, you give me these processed pieces of garbage that you can't even call what they used to be called.
So yes,
I'm not a
I
huge
mean,
fan of Girl Scout cookies, Tim.
yeah, it
I'll eat a whole
doesn't.
box, but I think they're overrated.
Yeah, I like the grasshopper and I like the coconut one, and that's it. That's all I really
The
know.
grasshopper.
All right, the
The Thin Mint?
peppermint. Yeah, whatever. The thin mint.
No, it's not called a grasshopper. What are you? That's the generic brand. Who are you?
I'm a guy that doesn't really pay attention much
All
to Girl
right.
Scouts.
Well,
I
there's
don't.
the Caramel Delights, aka the Samoas, purple box. The Thin Mints, that's a green box. The Tagalongs, aka peanut butter patties, that is the huh, red box. There used to be an orange box, but I don't think they do that anymore. The blue box is the shortbreads. They have these Adventurefuls that they're pretty good. They got the chocolate and the caramel. Then they have, I don't know if they have the s'mores ones anymore. There's lemonade. They got
Oh
a
my god.
gluten-free. There's a raspberry one that you can only order online.
The
Whatever.
the Adventurefuls, the Toasty Ways. Is that one?
Yeah,
The gra-
that's the French toast. That's a new one,
the
the French
Caramel
toast.
Delights, the Trefoils or Trefoils,
Mm.
the peanut butter sandwich, the
What did
thin
those
munt,
used to be
the
called?
caramel chocolate chip. That sounds pretty good. The peanut butter patties.
No, the caramel chocolate chip, that's the gluten-free, dog. Don't get fooled. I've been down that road.
I'm reading them right off the website. It says your Girl Scout cookie favorites are back.
Yeah,
And
the
Tom,
caramel chocolate chip is gluten-free. I'm
well,
telling you, it sucks.
it's pretty terrible.
Dude, it's awful. The gluten-free one is terrible, and I'm sorry for people out there that are allergic to gluten, but that is awful. I don't know. I hope all cakes and cookies that are gluten-free aren't that bad because those are terrible.
But I mean, I just don't. Are the Girl Scouts and the Boy Scouts? Is this like a thing? Is there like a competition between the two? Do they face off? Do they square off at some point in like this giant like scout
Dueling
like
stands, who can sell
yeah.
the most garbage. No, well, the Boy Scouts, you know what? I used to be a Boy Scout, and we one day, and I hadn't seen a Boy Scout. We used to sell the newspaper, is what we used to sell. I remember I'd be at church, and we had the stack of newspapers, and we would stack them all up and ready to go. When the mass ended, people would come up and you sell the newspaper. That's what we used to do. And then they have popcorn. So popcorn was a thing. It would be like caramel,
It's like
cheddar,
a
and regular popcorn. It was like a divided. tin. Now they sell bags, and the bags are like 20 bucks a pop. They might even
How
be more than that.
how big are the bags?
I mean,
That's like
they're
movie theater popcorn prices, dude. That's outrageous.
they're I would say they're like the size of like do you ever get the pretzel pieces? The pretzel pieces. It's not a full chip bag. It's like one of the smaller bags. Like that's the best way I can describe it. Maybe a Fritos comes in a smaller
Like the
bag or something.
Snyder's Jones? Like the
Yeah.
Snyder? Yeah,
But
yeah,
you know how those are in a smaller bag,
yeah.
not like a big bag of chips? It's like that.
That sounds like a ripoff to
For
me.
20 bucks, honestly, I think it was like 25 bucks for a bag of
Yeah.
this popcorn. And I
Oh,
was
you're
like,
paying. I think you're not really paying for the popcorn. I think you're paying for the Boy Scouts. I think you're paying.
yeah, I'm
I
sure
think
they're
you're.
getting a pretty penny off of
I
that.
think
Yeah.
you're paying for the Eagle Scout patch on the
God,
uniform.
what happened to the Boy Scouts? Like I think back in the day, was your dad a Boy Scout?
No,
No?
no. My dad was a true-blooded American.
I think back
American.
in the day, true-blooded Americans had Boy Scouts.
Now, my dad was my grandfather owned a auto shop. It was called Moe's Auto Shop. And my dad, as a kid, was working at the auto shop, pumping gas. And it's crazy, dude. I should show you a photo. Like my dad's gas station, he had a pump on his sidewalk outside of his house, essentially. It was
Really?
it's really wild, dude. But everyone in my house, so my dad's dad was named Mo, and everyone now in my family, all the males in the Schmidt family are now that's everyone's nickname.
Mo.
So like, yeah, like what's up, Mo? How you doing, Mo? Like it doesn't matter who it is, you just turn into a Mo.
Wow. And I've heard the Mo several times, but I didn't, think like, hey Mo, I've heard that. I just thought that was short for homo. I thought they were busting on each other.
Jesus Christ.
That's what I thought these old dudes were doing. All right, Mo. You know what I
Let's go, Mo. Go, Mo.
mean? Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Ay, ay, ay. Well, either way,
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
no, I thought that's what it was. So when, but I guess my point is, can we step this up a little bit? Look, for 40 years, I've been eating Girl Scout cookies and they're not that good. Can I get some, like, and my problem is people act like they're great. They're not. They're not very good. When you compare them to, like, they're not even close to a homemade cookie. It's not even a competition. What about, like, they have all these baking competitions. Do Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts have baking? Like, have a baking competition and sell some freaking pies or something. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
you never hear like these these Boy Scouts like all these athletes and celebrities and like their backstory never is like started out as a Boy Scout or a Girl Scout like
Yeah.
never hear that.
No. Yeah. What do you want your kids to be losers? Yeah, I
I'll
want to
tell
know. We got to find professional athletes that were Boy Scouts, you know?
prevent your kids from being losers. Don't sign up for the Boy
You
Scouts of
want your kid
America.
to not be a loser? Don't
Uh,
sign them up for the Boy Scouts. Yeah, yeah. Either way, Girl Scouts, can we step it up? How about okay, you got your regular cookies, okay? The ones that the store made ones that you order and you get like 2 cents on every box that you sell, whatever. How about, hey, we're gonna sell some of those, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a day, we're gonna bake 1,000 chocolate chip cookies fresh. I got a recipe, we're gonna make it work. We have a baker that's gonna help us. Boom. I think that would be all like set up something at a bakery. Sell some real fucking cookies or something. I don't know.
do you remember? This is just for some reason this is triggering my memory. I remember as a kid. All right, there was a officer that was murdered by Mumia. You know
Yes.
that guy?
Yeah. The
Mumia.
DJ?
Dude, his name was Daniel Faulkner.
Okay. Yes.
and he was murdered by Mumia, and he's been on like death row for years and years and years. There's always been
He
like
was like
some,
a DJ or something, right?
I don't know what he was, but like, I just remember like my mom always being like, "Oh, he killed a cop and shot him in the head and this whole thing," and it was like this whole thing. And I remember like there was certain things that you couldn't like drink or eat. Like I remember drinking a Snapple and like a kid like in the neighborhood would come up. He's like, "You're drinking Snapple? They support Mumia." I was like, I was
No,
like, what? Snapple does? Like, let's go. Like, how, how do they know about that guy? And then
pop the
like
top
I'd
underneath.
like,
Mamiya should be free.
yeah. And I'd be like, I think that's the first time like I was like trying like I was getting like uh politically like I don't know, pushed in a direction, right? Like
Yeah, right. Influence.
radicalized, like,
Yeah.
oh, I,
Indoctrinated.
you're drinking Snapple. Like, yeah, why? I'm like 8 years old. The best stuff on earth.
We got to fight against this guy that's on death row.
Like, oh, you're 8 years old. You support Mamiya. You're like, no, what? What are you talking about? Like, I don't even know who that guy is.
I
Like,
got the same talk because I had a Rage Against the Machine CD and I was listening to that and someone said that he supported this guy, Mamiya, and I was like, I never even heard of the guy. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, you know.
like
That was
Mamiya, like
my first
the
interaction with that.
the guy from Thundercats. No, that's Mumra. Mamiya. I'm like,
Mamula. Yeah, I hate Mike Mamula. Yeah, he was
can't believe the Eagles
overrated.
took him. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Wait, wait, you're telling me Snapple is a sponsor of Mike Mamula?
uh,
Yeah. Well, what a twist that was. Girl Scout cookies, do better, Girl Scouts. That's all I gotta say. Do
they
better.
they support Mamiya.
And Boy Scouts, just disband. Just it's over. We got to come up with a new one, something different. Maybe like a Ninja Warrior or something like that. All right, Timmy, let's get to our next topic, and that's gonna be about January. We're coming to the end of January, and I was taught an important lesson the other day at the bar, and something I didn't really know so much about, but it made me pose this question to myself, and we're gonna get to that. But before we do that, Timmy, does it suck to have a January birthday?
Um, I kind of
For those
I'm
of you that
back,
don't know, Tim's birthday was this past weekend, and so his birthday's in January, January 26th. So
and I love a birthday. So Tom, if you want to wish me a happy birthday,
I wished you a happy birthday. We had a whole live show, and I had the whole bar saying happy birthday to you. We got a
it
cake.
wouldn't be a bad thing to say it again.
Oh my gosh. Happy birthday, Tim.
Thanks, but
Happy
I get
birthday.
that.
See,
I
that's what Valentine's Day is like. You forced me into saying happy birthday. Does it make you feel better now? Does it make
it
you feel
does. It
better?
does.
Oh God, you're just like those women.
So I love. Look, everyone knows me. Everyone that knows me knows that I love a birthday wish. It's a nice thing. I love. I love when people go out of their way and it's your special day. You turn a year older and people go out of their way to wish you a happy birthday. And it honestly, there's like a lot of like positivity that day. It makes you feel good. There's a lot of positive reinforcement. So I think birthdays are fun. I don't think they deserve to be celebrated for a week or 3 days or 2 days or like a birthday weekend. Like if it falls on a Friday, have yourself a weekend, enjoy yourself. But like you only get the one birthday song and that's it. All right. Your birthday, the day of, that's fine. Don't ever wish me another like happy birthday, like the
You just
27th.
made me wish you another happy birthday.
That
We're a
was
week later.
that was for the crowd. That was for the
Oh
crowd.
God.
But being in January, it does kind of suck.
Well,
And
we
the
were
only
at the
reason
bar, and you and another guy at the bar who also happened to have a January birthday said it was awful. He said
well,
it's no good.
he said for a specific reason, and I don't agree. with his reasoning. He said that it sucks to have a birthday at I think he was in the middle. I think his birthday was like January 16th, but he was like, yeah, like, people are just getting finally like their first paycheck after Christmas and like New Year's, and like they are out of money and their money has to go elsewhere. You're not going to get a gift and stuff like that. I'm not like a big gift guy. I don't like, even at Christmas, I was just like, hey, like, if you can't get me a gift, I'm okay. I don't need gifts to oh, that's how much you love me. Thanks for the gift. I don't need any of that. But this guy was like, yeah, like, gifts are, they're hard to come by at that time of year. I just think it sucks because it's in the middle of winter. It's the doldrums of winter, and there's not a lot to do. Like, and I compared it to your birthday. I'm saying, like, look, your birthday is in June and you get to do all this fun stuff. You get to invite everybody to go golfing, which is like one of my favorite sports. And then, yeah, you get back to the bar and everyone's partying outside and they're playing bago and they're passing out on the lawn, and you don't have to worry
You could
about
have
it
a
being
grill
free.
going. You got the barbecue.
Yeah.
It's sunny till 9 o'clock. You have fun. Yeah, yeah. I hear like I do have. I have a fortunate birth date.
So I just say that like my birthday, it's just very limited. But now I do make up for that. I do go away a lot of times for my birthday. I'll go out. I'll go down to Florida and I'll play some golf for the weekend, or yeah, do something like cool like that. But like for the most part, you're kind of relegated to just like, all right, go to a bar, watch a football game, and that'll be it. Hooray, birthday. I feel like the Seinfeld version of birthdays is just another day in the calendar year, another candle blown out.
The worst time for birthdays, it has to be that time from Christmas, maybe even Christmas Eve, maybe 23rd up until New Year's Eve. That window there has to probably be the worst time for birthdays. You're getting Christmas presents. Oh, here's a bonus birthday present, kind of a throw in. You're not really getting like I have the half a year, so it's almost like another Christmas at some point. It's like, all right, sweet when I was a kid. So it's a difficult situation to be in. Shout out to those people with those birth dates, and maybe that's the holiday we need to come up with. A day to celebrate those people that have a poor birth date, where it's like people have already spent all this money on Christmas, or there's gifts being given out, and they don't really get to celebrate like a lot of other people get to.
I mean, God forbid if you're born on Galentine's Day.
Oh, what would you do then? All right, Timmy. So this is going to bring us to our last topic of the night. And I wanted to talk about something. It's just a crazy dream I had the other day. I was at home and I'm sleeping, believe it or not. And I have this dream and it was so vivid. And I'm at the bar and I'm working and I order some soft pretzels. I order 50 soft pretzels. Well, here comes the delivery driver, comes in, hands me my soft pretzels. Here you go. That's going to be $890.
There's some,
And I
there's some,
said, "What? 890 dollars?" And I said, "What the hell is going on?" And I start arguing with this guy like $890 for so like take them back. He's like, "We can't take them back. We already made them. You owe us 800." Well, I don't have $890. And he's like, "Well, what am I going to tell the owner?" I was like, "You could tell the owner to go fuck themselves. $890 for 50 soft pretzels." I was like, "Here's 40 bucks. Get out of here. That's overpaying for these pretzels." Timmy, any diagnosis with my dream there?
I mean, that's $45 a pretzel, I think, there, Tom. Like, what?
$890 for 50. I mean, if your math's right, that's quicker than me. I have no idea. But I just couldn't believe it. And I'm like, why am I dreaming about how expensive a pretzel is?
Yeah, it's a little crazy. It's a little crazy. You know what? It's even like more questionable is why the hell are you dreaming about without pretzels.
You know, when you're faster for life.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I had a
Timmy.
dream, Tom. I had a dream.
Uh-oh.
I'm not going to get into depth. You can let it play because there's no real resolution to this. But Tom, I had a dream that I was a police officer in Delaware, and I was assaulted with a shotgun by LeBron James, and then I killed LeBron James in the
Wait,
line of
what?
duty.
Are you allowed to say that? Are we allowed to say that on this show? Timmy, you
It's a
were a
dream.
police officer. You're not
Yeah.
allowed to dream about that. Oh my gosh.
Well,
How
what happened?
dare you
It
dream
was
about something like that
it was
on this
probably
show?
because I was wearing the Jordans, and the
Ah.
Jordan versus LeBron thing probably came up, and I'm a Jordan guy.
So you're a police officer in Delaware
Yeah.
and you're dreaming, and next thing you know, LeBron James is coming after you with a shotgun.
Well, he was getting off a boat, and like again, I this is the dream. This is not really
What, off the
obviously.
Delaware River? What's
It
he
was
getting on?
I don't know where I was. It was somewhere in Delaware. I knew it was in Delaware because I remember seeing like the state sign as I was driving my police cruiser down. I'm not a police officer, by the way.
Ah,
Uh,
okay.
so I just remember him. I was like in this like area where like boat stock, and he was getting off a boat, and he had a shotgun in his hand. And like I tried to, I was like, I didn't realize it was him. I was like, stop right there. I was like, I guess I was like a Delaware like Port Authority guy. Like,
Watching the docks of Delaware.
yeah, yeah, supervising the patrolling those docks.
Is Dewey Beach Delaware?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
maybe you're
But
down at Dewey Beach.
it wasn't Dewey Beach, I can tell you that. It was like some like weird rural area, and he was like getting off his boat with a shotgun. He had like a bag in his hand. I was like, stop right there. And he
What's
turned
in the
around.
bag?
No, I didn't even say that. He turned around and he shot at me and my partner. And like somehow we avoided the shot, the bullets, and I returned fire on him and I put him down.
You're telling me the number one scorer of all time shot and missed
Yeah.
against you? Was the game on the line? So then
But
what happened?
it was like a whole thing. It was just I had to call in backup, and like we realized that like my partner was like, dude, that's LeBron James. I looked down, I was like, shit, it is LeBron James.
Uh,
And then I went to a local bar after I got, you know, everything in order. And I was sitting at the bar, and we're looking up at the TV screen, and it was like Scott Van Pelt on ESPN. And he's like, LeBron James is doubtful for tonight's game.
you think?
And
I
I
just killed him.
and I started turning to my buddies. I was like, dude, I just killed LeBron James. Like he just shot at me with a shotgun. They're like, you're full of shit. I'm like, I'm telling you, ESPN doesn't know shit.
Another one of Tim's stories, you know. Oh, now he killed LeBron James. And then
It
he
was
came out.
it was wild. And like
Wow.
and it's weird because like the week before I was a police officer again, and I tased the guy from Star Trek. Uh the dude with the like the blind guy, the black guy with the wears the
Reading
yellow
Rainbow guy.
yeah, LeVar Burton. And I tased him. Uh, yeah, you better watch out.
Oh my God.
I'm taking down
And then
celebrities.
next week in your dreams, you got millions of protesters.
I don't know what's going on with me, but
What the hell?
taking down some high profile individuals lately. And like,
Why are you taking down LeVar Burton, you know? Star Trek, you know, Star Voyage, or he
reading
needs you to
Rainbow.
read something?
Yeah,
You're
he's
not a butterfly in the sky.
yeah. He did a
Butterfly in the sky. I can fly twice as high. Take a look. It's in a book of reading
rainbow.
Rainbow. All right, folks. Wow. That episode was a dream. Wouldn't you say, Timmy?
Yes. Where are you going with this?
Nowhere. We want to thank everyone out there that's listening. We love you. We appreciate you. If you aren't already doing it, give us a follow. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter, TikTok, anywhere you can. YouTube, please give us that follow, that share. Tell your friends, tell your family. Schmidt Lavelle, the best show you've listened to in the last hour, guaranteed. So, new episodes every week. Shout out again to the design guys. That's design_guys, GUYZ. Find them on Instagram. Order some merch. Timmy, anything you want to say to all the Schmidt and Lavelleites out there before we sign off?
Tom, the greatest trick the devil ever played was convincing the world he didn't exist.
Ooh, I love it. Wow. Little usual suspects there. And you can count on us, the usual suspects, the hosts of Schmidt and Lavelle. My name's Tom Lavelle for Timothy Schmidt. Have a great weekend. We love you. Until next week, peace.